Alright guys, welcome back to Eastside Shenanigans. Today we're going to be doing a how-to video on how to change the power steering pump in the old Trans Am right here. If you go back to our first video, you can actually see where it failed and it threw a belt. So today we're going to be changing it out and you're going to be along with us for the ride. So this is going to be the parts that we picked up. We're also going to be changing the belt, of course, and an idler pulley since we're going to be doing it. Let's see here. Okay, we got the Duralast belt. That is the part number for it. This is the idler pulley. Check that out. And then we just picked up a just generic power steering pump. Now, one of the main tools that you're going to be needing to do this change here, you need a pulley puller. Now this one is a snap-on one. You don't have to get a snap-on one. You can get it from Harbor Freight, anywhere online. They're pretty generic. Just be sure it's got the LS style in it. There's a couple different ones that have different sizes in it, so just be sure it's got the LS style, and you can use it for many different pulleys and so on. You're going to need a 15mm wrench, 15mm socket, and 3/8 ratchet, or if you got an impact you can use that as well. You don't have to get all the best snap-on stuff or anything like that. Anything will work. So we are here with Little E. He's going to be here helping us do it. Say what up?
What's up?
So we're going to be knocking it out real quick. Here we go. Alright guys, this is Little E. He's going to be knocking it out for us. Alright, first he's going to undo the map sensor. Stick it back in there. Undo the throttle body, cup link. And the reason he's doing this so he can have a lot more room to work in there. Alright. Now he's going to undo one of the water hoses, because if you can see, the pulley is actually very close to that water hose. So when you get the pulley puller on there, it's going to be pretty tight. So you want to get that out just so you can have enough room to maneuver around in there. Alright, now he's undoing the bolts for the idler pulley. I'm going to go ahead and knock that out. It's just two simple bolts. Very, very easy. Alright, there it goes. Pretty simple. Alright guys, now it's time to actually take the pulley off of the power steering pump. And this is the pulley puller. If you can see, it's got a little lip right here, which fits right over that little lip right there. You're going to run that stud inside the space for it, just like that. So he's tightening down. And what you're going to be doing, you're going to be using an adjustable wrench on the actual pulley extractor part, this, just like that, and using another wrench on the back side to start tightening it down. And what this is going to do is, as far as it's going in, it's going to be actually pulling the pulley out. Now this might actually take a few minutes to actually do. There you go.
You can get tight.
Yeah, it can get pretty tight. And these are, you know, they're pressed on pulleys, so that's why they're made to be extremely tight on there. And the more he's ratcheting on it, the more the pulley's actually coming out. There it goes. Your pulley is off. There you go. And then you just undo the back side of the stud to get it loose so the tool can actually come off. Alright, and as he's getting that off, what he's going to do here is there's actually 3 bolts that need to come out. So that's 1, 2, and 3 for the actual power steering pump. Next, he's going to get a line wrench to undo this line, and then a small, we have this like a clamp hose here for the extra line that comes down off of it. I think that's a 13 on the power steering side and the line. Okay, I was using a line wrench to get that undone. Now this one can actually be a little difficult because the reservoir is right on top of it. Okay, he's got that undone. Alright, now he's got a 13mm socket that he's going to take out those 3 bolts that hold the power steering pump together. All we need now is for that ratchet to slip and his knuckles get busted, guys. If anyone's done any mechanic work, they know what's up. You will either 1, cuss up a storm, or 2, cry like a baby. Happens to the best of us, guys, don't worry. Alright, now he's got all 3 loose, and you can see the power steering pump is pretty much ready to come out. Now, please be aware that when you undo some of these lines, you will have some fluid in there. So be sure to have a rag or a bucket underneath you or something like that to undo them. Alright, now there's one more line on the driver's side of the pump. I'm going to lean that over to get to it. It's a hose with a hose clamp. And ours is a 1/4 inch on the socket size. Just pull that off.
That is basically it. She's out.
That's basically it. She is out. Alright guys, a little YouTube magic. It's already done. No, I'm kidding. So we just kind of put the hard line back on and the rubber hose down at the bottom back on. And just off of the camera because it does take a few minutes to put back on. Now this bracket here is the bracket off the old pump. You still need this bracket to install the other bolts that go to the front, almost like a sandwich bracket or a clamp or whatever you want to call it. He's gonna put that on the front of the power steering pulley, the power steering pump, right underneath where the pulley goes. And then the last short bolt. When you take those out, there's going to be 2 long bolts and 1 short bolt. The short bolt always goes on the bottom side of that bracket, and the 2 long bolts are on the driver and passenger side of the bracket. Bust out the old ratchet. And on the power steering pump, you always want to tighten it to spec. And here, spec is tight as tight.
As long as the bolt don't break, it's tight enough.
Supposedly. All right, all 3 bolts should be about tight right now. Now let's go over here. Now on the pulley itself, these are made out of plastic, so you can always check them, make sure there's no big cracks in them or chips missing or something like that. Ours is pretty good, so we did not get another one. But is it aluminum?
It's metal, it's not plastic.
Okay, lightweight aluminum. That's race car stuff right here, guys. Heard that? Lightweight aluminum. All right, guys. Now that we've got the actual power steering pump on, now we got to actually press the pulley back on. And to do that, you need a pulley press tool. Now this tool essentially is a big bolt here with a smaller bolt that connects to it. This bolt actually runs into where the pulley is, and you start tightening here. It's got a bearing and a washer. This part actually is the part that presses against the pulley to set it back in. So just like that. There we go. Now he's going to run that in there to where it's pretty snug and tight. Okay, then he seats that bearing and washer down. That bearing and washer, as you tighten it, it's going to actually push the pulley in. There we go.
That's it.
All right, guys. Your power steering pump is complete. You just back them all off, and that stud comes out. Mostly. And now we're going to put the idler pulley back on and the rest of it. Alright guys, power steering pump pulley is on. He's finishing up the idler pulley over there. It's just 2 simple bolts. We already kind of have the belt just kind of laying on there right now. About to put it on next before we put the water hose back on and the intake. Okay, here we go. And just like that, the belt is on.
Alright. You can put the intake pipe on.
putting that SLP on there. Pretty simple again. I'm sure if y'all have an F-body, I've already done this a time or two.
Don't forget to plug in the mass air sensor
Yeah.
and the radiator hose.
Alright guys, we just finished up with the power steering pump install. We did the tensioner pulley, the belt, put the car back together. I'm going to also put the part numbers in the description below. Check them out if you need any help finding the part numbers if you're going to order it online or anything like that. I think we're just about wrapping it up. Anything else you got to say, Little E?
Don't forget the power steering fluid.
Alright guys, I guess you need power steering fluid to finish this job. And always remember, we'll gap you later.